Well, I don't think Mary was planning on doing this. I don't think she had this on her radar at all.
When it's unexpected, we all feel a sense of urgency. There's fear, and you never feel prepared enough.
But she wasn't expecting to have a baby, and neither are many of the women who walk in our doors.
The excitement and yet the anxiety about the unknown.
Mary had a little bit of forewarning, not much. She still wasn't expecting this, and this was probably not at all in her dreams and plans as a young bride to be.
Uncertain how it will affect her current relationships, future, be it husband, relative, or friends, and feelings of inadequacy as to whether she will be a good mother or capable of meeting the child's needs.
Because she was probably thinking about her wedding and thinking about, what that's going to look like in her culture.
I don't know about you, but I'd probably be getting a little bit anxious knowing it's coming. She was very cautious to do all the right things to take care of herself, to make sure the child was going to be as healthy as possible, just preparing for the child to come, the things that would be needed for herself and for the baby.
Their culture is different and they celebrate weddings differently, but still a woman thinks about those things. What is married life going to be like, raising kids, and you kind of go in a sequence of events, and this disrupted all of whatever her plans were.
It completely changed her life. And that, of course, is what happens to the women that we get to see. She wasn't planning it. She had no idea it was going to happen. And that's the case with many of the women who come in with us. Whether they're trying to prevent pregnancy or not, there's always that chance they could get pregnant. And even if they're not expecting it, it's a lot of a different thinking. They need to change a lot of their thinking to prepare for the baby and to help them think about that part of their life instead of the young and free life.
I would say in some respects settling into the idea, and then in other respects still like, okay, she's getting bigger, she's getting more uncomfortable, now what, how big am I gonna get, how uncomfortable am I gonna get, how is this gonna affect my quality of life, and and then again, just the whole anticipation of what's next, and what is this baby going to look like? Is the baby now moving in you? Because that's when you really start feeling the baby move, and I think there would be great anticipation and joy. Like, oh my gosh, I really want to see what this baby's going to look like, since, like we talked about, there's no physical father form to kind of go by. But at the same time, oh my gosh, I'm a little frightened. Can I be a mother to Messiah? Can I do that? Can I do it well? I think there would be a lot of those questions, a lot of that reflection going on.
What Mary was thinking, I think we can relate that to today's clients in our pregnancy center too.
To me, I think this was the best feeling, because you're becoming more in tune with your baby. You feel the baby, there's all this connection, and you do feel a need to prepare. And you feel so connected, which I think is really great. So I'm thinking maybe Mary was feeling more comfortable with her purpose, bringing Jesus into the world.
I think she was probably getting excited because she could see and feel changes. She knew that God was doing something within her, and that was a beautiful thing because it was a gift from God, because he had shown favor on her and blessed her with this opportunity. I think she was probably excited.
Because we give Mary a lot of grace. And we know she wasn't out in sin, mind you. But we call her blessed. And her baby had a predicted purpose and future. We know that.
I think she was also maybe a little fearful or hurt, maybe because people probably didn't treat her very well, and maybe fearful of the way they would treat her. She had some planning and preparation to do. They had a big trip to take. All of those kind of things took forethought.
All babies have the potential to have purpose and a future if given that opportunity for life. And if the mother is supported and come around in a very strong way, then she is more equipped to raise that child to be productive and have purpose and pursue their dreams instead of getting stuck in maybe a cycle that she's in. And so it's breaking cycles, and it's helping these children go forward with and know their value and know their worth and know that they were loved.
It's just so amazing how God cares so much that he would design his salvation plan in this way. I just really think so. We can so relate to it.
Mary made a very sacrificial gift. She gave of herself in an environment, in a society where she could have been rejected and killed, where she was probably not accepted and probably shunned because of the situation, because of being pregnant when she was not married. I think she gave a huge gift and a huge sacrifice by God giving her that gift of Jesus.
It's such a beautiful plan of God that all creation enters the world in this way, that he sent his son to experience it as well.
God knew my first day and he wrote my last day. He knew all my days. They were written for me. And I do think that gives purpose to every human being that's given the potential for life, that God has their days marked and what they can be or could be.
Isn't that an amazing way that God would choose, first of all, for us to understand, but second of all, to experience what we experience.
We get the opportunity to make choices when we get onto this earth, but if we don't get to the earth, if we don't get born, if we don't get that far, we can't make that choice.
So even a woman who is born with no sin, Mary's born with no original sin, she faced adversity. And she brought Jesus, who was our Savior, and he was born to imperfect circumstances. So this really gives us hope and reassurance that we too can face the challenges that come our way.
She's a good example for women these days who we also sacrifice. When we get pregnant, we know our lives are going to change. We know we're going to be moms, and the babies are going to be our first concerns, and we're going to have to watch them all the time and that kind of thing. So I think it helps us learn how to sacrifice and how to kind of give our children the ultimate gift of love, which of course is what God gave us through Jesus.